Hello, book lovers and English learners. Welcome to our January and February live read along. I'm Lydie Bureau. I'm an English teacher in France and also the founder of Lydie's Book Club, a book club for learners of English. In this book club, I host live readings and discussion workshops on adaptations of classics of literature and contemporary novels in their original text. I also tend to prioritize books that are written by women. Each month, we read and explore a different book for all levels of English. And each week, I host several live reading sessions on Instagram and Zoom for free. And to be able to attend those free live reading sessions, you just need to subscribe to the newsletter to get your free link. 3 times a month, I also meet the members with the book of the book club. We meet in a live discussion workshop via Zoom to talk about the chapters read over the week. And this is the best way for the members to improve their speaking and reading skills in English, their critical thinking skills, and also be part of a community of book lovers and have the opportunity to meet the other members of the book club and also decide on the next book to read. For the next 2 months, for the next month, we are going to read the original text of It Ends With Us. This book, this is a contemporary novel, and that's why we're reading it in its original text. This book was written by Colleen Hoover. She's an American writer, and she published this book in 2016. If you want to know more about the novel and Colleen Hoover's work, I invite you to listen to the podcast episode 29 of the podcast Reading English. So this is the podcast of the book club. And you can find this podcast on YouTube or on Spotify. Today is live read is session 11 of our live read along, and we're going to read chapters 15 and 16 today. This Sunday, I will host our fourth live discussion workshop to talk about chapters 12 to 16. And if you want to attend this workshop, you just need to subscribe to the book club, clicking on the link in the description of this video, or just by typing leadersbookclub.com, which is the website. It will be the best way for you to improve your English. Right. And share your thoughts on the book as well. I'd love to hear what you think about the book and the characters. Right. So before I start the reading of the chapters, I'm going to do a quick recap on chapter 14, the one that we've read yesterday. And this chapter was particularly emotional because this is the first time that Ryle is being violent, or I could say we could say that he's being violent towards Lily. Sorry. So I'm still a bit sick, so okay. So he's being violent towards Lily. So let me explain the context. So they've been dating, and Lily was in her apartment, and Ryle came to her flat to spend the night together. And at this point, Lily is cooking, and they're being very flirty, and kind of teasing each other, uh, and to like um, increase the tension between the two of them. And they're very attracted towards each other, and they like to tease and flirt with one another. And um, and Lily is wearing this apron, and she's been cooking, and she left a casserole in. She put a casserole in the oven. At this point, at the same time, well, at this moment, Ryle enters in the flat. Enters the flat. He had a bottle of wine, and they start drinking wine. Lily is on the phone with her mom, and then she forgets about the casserole in the oven, and she smells the burn. Um, Ryle wanting was on his way to was about to take the casserole out of the oven, but didn't think about taking a cloth or a rag. I think this is what a cloth is, a tissue, a piece of textile, to a kitchen or like a kitchen towel. I think that's um, Americans call that a rag, I guess, um, because I've read it a couple times in the text, and he takes it bare hands, and he's just been saying to Lily that he has a very important surgery on Monday, and his hands are like magic. They're very important to him, and he needs to be really careful. This is his career, basically. Um, Thank you for joining the live. Um, so he doesn't think, and he takes the casserole, is about to take the casserole with his bare hands, and he burns himself. And Lily is a little bit tipsy, and uh, and and nervously laugh about him, um, and the whole situation, the fact that he didn't that he burned himself, and um, uh, she's laughing about him, and she doesn't want to laugh, but too it's she can't help herself. Yeah, sorry, I'm searching my words. Um, so she can't help herself. If she's a little bit drunk. Well, tipsy, not that drunk, but she's been drinking wine, and it's the end of the day, and she can't help herself but laughing about the fact that Ryan burned himself. She can't stop herself. And Ryle gets really upset. And in a fraction of a second, he pushed her. And Lily finds herself on the floor with a terrible headache or pain on the forehead. She hurt herself when she fell down. She hurt herself, and she is shaking. She's shocked about what about the realization that he just knocked her down with just by pushing her on the arm or by hitting her. He more than pushed her, he just hit her. So she doesn't want to him to touch her, and well, instantly Ryle realizes that he hurt her, and he realized his mistake, and he's apologizing. He's deeply sorry and apologize instantly, but um Lily is still shocked and doesn't want to doesn't want him to touch her. Um, and then he continue apologizing to her, and then she feels his a sincere apologies and doesn't want to think that he is like her father, because this is the first thought that comes to her head, obviously knowing her background, her family background, and she put herself together in a way. She starts to find to regain consciousness, and she realizes that it didn't mean it. He's sorry, blah blah blah. So he takes her to bed, he looks after her, he's very caring, and he keeps on apologizing. So in the end, she feels that he's being sincere here, and she kind of forgive him, and they kiss because deep down she loves him, and she's fallen in love with him, and he takes her to bed, and he's kissing her everywhere, and eventually they're having sex just a few minutes after this happened. So I wonder what you think about that, and it yeah, whether if you think that it's something that you imagine you would have done, or do you think that makes sense, or I don't know. I find that quite unexpected after this after the accident or the incident. So they on the next day, I think, when they're in bed, um, Ryle reveals that he reveals Lily that he is in love with her, and yeah, declares to her that he loves her, and she replies back that she does love him. So from a tragic situation, and maybe we would think the end of their relationship, then it's actually the opposites. It's as if their relationship take another, well, goes to another level, and they actually and their relationship gets stronger in the end. So it's um it's an interesting turn of events, I would say. Hello, Alexi. Hi. I hope you're well. All right, I'm gonna start the reading of chapter 15 now. Okay. I arrive at the restaurant 15 minutes late. So remember, Ryle booked the restaurant that where Lily met her ex-boyfriend. Well, yeah, her Atlas, her first love, and they are meant to meet Eliza and Marshall there and have dinner there. I arrive at the restaurant 15 minutes late. Right. When I was about to close tonight, I had a customer come in to order flowers for a funeral. I couldn't turn them away because, sadly, funerals are the best business for florists. Ryle waves me over to the table, and I walk straight to them, doing my best not to look around. I don't want to see Atlas. I tried twice to get them to change the restaurant location, but Eliza was well bent on eating there and eating here after Ryle told her how good it was. I slide into the booth, and Ryle leans over and kisses me on the cheek. Hey, girlfriend. Eliza groans. God, you guys are so cute. It's sickening. I smile at her, and her eyes immediately go to the corner of my eye. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it might today, which is probably due to Ryle forcing me to keep eyes on it. Oh my God, Eliza says. Ryle told me what happened, but I didn't think it was that bad. I glance at Ryle, wondering what he told her. The truth? He smiles and says, Oliver was everywhere. When she slipped, it was so gracefully. When she slipped, it was so graceful, you'd think she was ballerina. A lie. So he lied to his sister. Fair enough. I would have done the same thing. It was pretty pathetic, I say with a laugh. Somehow, we get through dinner without a hitch. No sign of Atlas, no thoughts of last night, and Ryle and I both avoid the wine. After we're finished with our food, our waiter approaches the table. Care for dessert? He asks. I shake my head, but Eliza perks up. What do you have? Martin looks just as interested. We're eating for two, so we'll take anything chocolate, he says. The waiter nods, and when he walks away, Eliza looks at Marshall. This baby is the size of a bed bug right now, but better not encourage bad habits for the next several months. The waiter returns with the dessert card. The chef gives all expectant mothers dessert on the house, he says. Congratulations. Oh, hello. Hi, poet Ad Opovo. Hi, first time seeing your directs. Yeah, our live. Yeah, I love your accent. Oh, thank you so much for your kind words. Um, so I'm currently reading. So it ends with us, this book that we are currently reading at the moment, the book club, and I'm poet at the Povo. Poet of the people. You nailed it. Oh, so in what language is Adopovo? What language is it? Is it then other people? Oh, it's beautiful. I like that name, definitely. So we're reading chapter 15? Chapter 15. Chapter 15 of the book. Yeah. So I'm page 194. Have you read the book before? Let me know. I'm just gonna keep reading. Okay. Where was I? Guess that the waiter returns with the dessert cup. The chef gives no, sorry, yeah. Gives all expectant mothers dessert on the house, he says. Congratulations. He does, Eliza says, perking up. Guess that's why it's called bibs, Marshall says. Chef likes the babies? We all look at the cart. Oh God, I say, looking at the options. This is my favorite restaurant, Eliza says. We pick out three desserts for the table. The four of us spend the time waiting for it to be served, discussing baby names. Um, I know the book actually. I have to join you always now. Yes, definitely join the live conversation. And if you want to join the book club as well, please feel free to go to lidisbookclub.com and join the book club as well. I'm uh, continuing the reading. Right. Okay. No, Eliza says to Marshall, we're not naming this baby after a state. But I love Nebraska, he whines. Idaho? Eliza drops her head in her hands. This is going to be the demise of our marriage. Demise? Marshall says. That's actually a good name. Marshall's murder is thwarted by the arrival of dessert. Our waiter places a piece of chocolate cake in front of Eliza and steps aside to make room for the waiter behind him, who is holding the other two desserts. The waiter motions toward the guy placing out desserts down and says, the chef would like to extend his congratulations. How was the meal? The chef asks, looking at Eliza and Marshall. By the time his eyes make it to mine, my anxiety is sipping from me. Atlas locks eyes with me, and without thinking, I blurt out, you the chef? Ooh. By the way, did you read the book in English, or tell me, do you speak English, or is it your second language? Let me know how long you've been. Okay, in English, right. So you're a native speaker in English, is that right? Oh, wow. You speak Portuguese, French, and English. Wow, nice. So what's your mother tongue? Is it Portuguese is your mother tongue, but usually read originals. But you like to read um original texts. Well, in their books in their original language, in their uh original version. Oh, that's great. Nice. So she says, you the chef? The waiter leans around Atlas. The waiter leans around Atlas and says, the chef, the owner, sometimes waiter, sometimes dishwasher. He gives a new meaning to hands-on. The next 5 seconds go unnoticed by everyone at our table, but they play out in slow motion to me. Atlas' eyes fall to the cut on my eye. The bandage wrapped around Ryle's hand, back to my eye. Well, remember, so Ryle has a bandage because he hurt himself on the hand, yeah? We love your restaurant, Eliza says. You have an incredible place here. Atlas doesn't look at her. I see the roll of his throat as he swallows. His jaw hardens and he says nothing as he walks away. Shit. The waiter tries to cover for Atlas' hasty retreat by smiling and showing and showing way too many teeth. Enjoy your dessert, he says, scuffling off to the kitchen. Bummer, Eliza says. We find a new favorite restaurant and the chef is an asshole. Ryle laughs. Yeah, but the assholes are the best ones. Gordon Ramsay? So I don't know if you know him, but Gordon Ramsay is a very famous chef in America specifically, but also maybe you've heard of him. He has restaurant everywhere in the world. He has one actually in Bordeaux, this is where I'm from, and yeah, you know him. Yeah. So he's very famous and he's known for his show. Oh, you have some of his books. Amazing. And he's famously known for his cooking show, Hell's Kitchen. No, Hell's Kitchen or no, yeah, Hell's Kitchen, but also your not Nightmare in the Kitchen or something like that. Yeah. Or yeah. So um he got famous through this show. So he would visit restaurants that are about to close down, and he would help the owners of the shop of the restaurant um, to to manage. He would help them to manage correctly the restaurant, and he would help them um, to to go back on the right track, basically. So let's continue. Good point, Marshall says. I put my hand on Ryle's arm. Oh, sorry. So that's Lily. I put my hand on Ryle's arm. Bathroom, I tell him. He nods as I scoot out of the booth, and Marshall says, "What about Wolfgang Puke? Do you think he's an asshole?" I walk across the. I don't know about the reference of this one. I walk across the restaurant, head down, fast paced. As soon as I get into the familiar hallway, I keep going. I push open the door to the women's restroom and then turn around and lock it. Shit, 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 shit. The look in his eye, the anger in his jaw. I'm relieved he walked away, but I'm half convinced he's probably going to be waiting outside the restaurant when we leave, ready to kick Ryle's ass. So why do you think Atlas is angry? Why do you think Lily sees that Atlas is angry? Tell me. I breathe in my nose, out my mouth, wash my hands, repeat the breathing. So she's like breathing. Once I'm more calm, I dry my hands on a towel. I'll just go back out there and tell Ryle I'm not feeling well. We'll leave and we'll never come back. They all think the chef is an asshole, so that can be my excuse. I unlock the door, but I don't pull it open. I start pushing open from the other side, so I step back. Atlas steps inside the bathroom with me and locks the door. His back rests against the door. I unlock the door, but I don't pull it open. It starts pushing open from the other side, so I step back, and Atlas is behind. It's a little bit stalky here. Atlas steps inside the bathroom with me and locks the door. His back rests against the door as he stares at me, focused on the cut near my eye. What happened? He asks. I shake my head. Nothing. His eyes are narrow, still ice blue, but somehow burning with fire. You're lying, Lily. I muster enough of a smile to get me by. It was an accident. Atlas laughs, but then his face falls flat. Leave him, Live him. Jesus, he thinks this is something else entirely. I take a step forward and shake my head. It's not like that, Atlas. It wasn't like that. Ryle is a good person. He tilts his head and leans it forward a little bit. Funny, you'd sound just like your mother. His words sting. I immediately try to reach around him for the door, but he grabs my wrist. Leave him, Lily. I yank my hand away. I turn I turn my back to him and inhale a deep breath. I release it slowly as I face him again. If it's any comparison at all, I'm more scared of you right now than I've ever been of him. My words make Atlas pause for a moment. His nod starts out slowly and then gets more prominent as he steps away from the door. I certainly didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. He motions towards the door, just trying to repay the concern you've always shown me. I stare at him for a moment, unsure how to take his words. He's still ragging on the inside. I can see it. But on the outside, he's calm, collected, allowing me to leave. I reach forward and unlock the door, then pull it open. All right, so poet to the people, uh, of the people, sorry. I like this part of the story. It's very relatable. I think every one of us, so someone we once were close, living their life without us. Some got into amazing path, others not so much. Mm-hmm. I think he sees the threat. I don't know. It's possible he's successful and sweet, and he can see she's fond of him. What I guess is what you meant. Um, yes. And also I think he noticed that she had hurt, or she had like a bruise on her head. And he noticed, so he looked at her face and he saw Rise's hand with the bandage. So he instantly made the connection that something had happened between these two. Um, and yes, and we realize here that Atlas made it. He is the owner of the restaurant, so he opened a restaurant. He's the chef, uh, and it seems like he's successful here. Uh, but on the other hand, he's worried about Lily at this instant. Definitely, yeah. Hmm. Uh, where was I? I gasp when my eyes meet Ryan's. Ooh. I quickly glance over my shoulder to see Atlas filing out of the bathroom with me. Oh, so as she comes out of the bathroom, no, Atlas is behind her and Riley is in front. So this scene is actually um, represented in the film, and yeah, it's obviously turning a very important scene in the book. So they adapted it in the film as well. So I gasp when my eyes meet Ryan's. I quickly glance over my shoulder to see Atlas spinning out of the bathroom with me. Ryan's eyes fill with confusion as he looks from me to Atlas. What the fuck, Lily? Yeah, drama, definitely. Did you watch the film? Ryan, my voice shakes. God, God, this looks so much worse than it is. Atlas steps around me and turns towards the door to the kitchen, as if Ryle doesn't even exist to him. Ryle's eyes are glued to Atlas's back. Keep walking, Atlas, keep walking. Right when Atlas reaches the kitchen doors, he pauses. No, no, keep walking. In what becomes one of the most dreadful moments I can imagine, he spins around and strides toward Ryle, grabbing him by the collar of his shirt. Oh my God, they're gonna fight. Almost as soon as it happens, Ryle forces Atlas back and slams him against the opposite wall. Atlas lunges for Ryle again, this time shoving his forearm against Ryle's throat, pinning him against the wall. Or pinning him against the wall. You touch her again, and I'll cut your fucking hands off. Your fucking hand off and shove it down your throat, you worthless piece of shit. Atlas, stop! I yell. Yeah, fine. Atlas releases Ryan forcefully, taking a huge step back. Ryan is breathing heavily, staring at Atlas long and hard. Then his focus moves directly to me. Atlas? He says his name with familiarity. Why is Ryan saying Atlas's name like that? Like he's hurt. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Why is Ryle saying Atlas's name like that? Like he's heard me say it before. I've never told him about Atlas. Wait, I did. That first night on the roof. It was one of my naked truth. Ryle lets out a disbelieving laugh and points at Atlas, but he's still looking at me. This is Atlas? The homeless boy you pity fucked? Ooh, oh God. Loved the line. Uh, which one? Which line did you like? The homeless boy you pity fucked? The realization. Oh yeah. Um, the hallway instantly becomes a blur of fists and elbows and my screams for them to stop. Two waiters push through the door behind me and shove past me, separating them just as quickly as it started. They're pushed apart against opposite walls, staring each other down, breathing heavily. I can't even look at either of them. I can't look at Atlas, not after what Ryle just said to him. I also can't look at Ryle because he's probably thinking possible thing, the absolute worst possible thing right now. Out! Atlas yells, pointing at the door, but looking at Ryle. Get the hell out of my restaurant. I meet Ryle's eyes as he begins to walk past me, scared of what I'll see in them. But there isn't any anger there, only hurt. Lots of hurt. He pauses as he feels about to say something to me, but his face just twists into disappointment and he walks back out into the restaurant. I finally glance up at Atlas and can see disappointment all across his face. Before I can explain away Ryan's words to him, he turns and walks away, pushing through the kitchen doors. I immediately turn and run after Ryle. He grabs his jacket, both He grabs his jacket from the booth and walks toward the exit without even looking at Eliza and Marshall. Eliza looks up at me and holds her hands in question. I shake my head, grab my purse, and say, "It's a long story. We'll talk tomorrow." I follow Ryle outside and he's walking toward the parking lot. Toward the parking lot. I run to catch up to him and he's just stopping and punches at the air. He just stops and punches at the air. Okay. "I didn't bring my fucking car," he yells, frustrated. I pull my keys out of my purse and he walks up to me and snatches them from my hand. Again, I follow him, this time to my car. All right. The disappointment all across his face. Yeah, I like that one too. I don't know what to do. I don't know if he even wants to speak to me right now. He just saw me locked in a bathroom with a guy I used to be in love with. Then, out of nowhere, that guy attacks him. God, this is so bad. When we reach my car, he heads straight for the driver's seat door. He points to the passenger to the he points to the passenger's side and says, "Get in, Lily." He doesn't speak to me the entire time we're driving. I say his name once, but he just shakes his head like he's not ready to hear my explanation yet. When we pull into my parking garage, he gets out of the car as soon as he turns it off. Like he can't get away from me fast enough. He's pacing the length of the car when I get out. "It wasn't what it looked like, Ryle, I swear." He stops pacing, and when he looks at me, my heart doubles over. There is so much pain in his eyes right now, and it's not even necessary. It was all due to stupid misunderstanding. "I didn't want this, Lily," he says. "I didn't want a relationship. I didn't want this stress in my life." Ooh, here it is. As much as it's hurting because of what he thinks he saw, his words still piss me off. "Well then, leave." "What?" I throw my hands up. "I don't want to be your burden, Ryle. I'm so sorry my presence in your life is so unbearable." He takes a step forward. "Lily, that's not at all what I'm saying." Okay, you need to know what you mean because I guess I like that she reacts like that because it's a bit of a pain here. Because I mean, what do you want? He throws his hands up in frustration and then walks past me. He leans against my car and folds his arms over his chest like a baby. He's he is a walking misunderstanding. Um, yeah, definitely. He's hard to fathom, I would say. It's hard to understand his his character. Hi, Katie. Thank you for joining the live. We are page 200, chapter 15. Where is it? He leans against my car and folds his arms over his chest. There is a long stretch of silence when I wait for what he has to say. His head is down, but he lifts it slightly, looking up at me. "Naked truth, Lily. That's all I want from you right now. Can you please give me that?" I nod. Did you know he worked here?" I purse my lips together and wrap my arm over my chest, grabbing at my elbow. "Yes, that's why I didn't want to go back, right? I didn't want to run into him. My answer seems to release a little of his tension. He runs a hand down his face. Did you tell him what happened last night? Did you tell him about our fight? I take a step forward and shake my head adamantly. No, he assumed. He saw my eye and your hand, and he just assumed. He blows out a laden breath and leans his head back, looking up at the roof. It looks like it's almost too painful for him to even ask the next question. Why were you alone with him in the bathroom? I take another step forward. He followed me in there. I know nothing about him now, Ryle. I didn't even know he owned that restaurant. I thought he was just a waiter. He's not a part of my life anymore, I swear. He just. I fold my arms together and drop my voice. We both grew up in an abusive household. He saw my face in your hand and he was just worried for me. That's all it was. Ryan brings his hands up and his covers his mouth. I can hear the air rushing through his fingers as he releases his breath. He stands up straight, allowing himself a moment to soak in all I've just said. My turn, he says. He pushes off the car and takes a 3 step toward me that previously separated us. He puts both hands on my cheeks and looks me dead in the eyes. He looks me dead in the eyes. If you don't want to be with me, please tell me right now, Lily, because when I saw you with him, that hurt. I never want to feel that again. And if it hurts this much now, I'm terrified to think of what it could do to me a year from now. I can feel the tears begin to stream down my cheeks. I place my hands on top of his and shake my head. I don't want anyone else, Ryle. I only want you. He forces the saddest smile I've ever seen on a human. He pulls me in, he pulls me to him and holds me there. I wrap my arms around him as tight as I can as he presses his lips to the side of my head. I love you, Lily. God, I love you. I squeeze him tight, pressing a kiss to his shoulder. I love you too. I close my eyes and wish I could wash away the entire last 2 days. Atlas is wrong about Ryle. I just wish Atlas knew he was wrong. Mm. So, Poet of the People it says, love the description of all the emotions, pauses, nicely done. Oh, thank you. Nicely done about the reading, you mean, or or the text as well. Um, she she really manages to let the emotions come out of the book. Yeah. The saddest smile I've ever seen on a human. Hmm. Yeah. He forces the saddest smile I've ever seen. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, sometimes you have to read it twice. Oh, text and reading. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes um the the way the phrase is turned or the vocabulary used, sometimes you have to read it twice to let it penetrate your brain or really feel or really understand the meaning of that sentence uh, and the subtext as well that means that a sentence can mean. And it's really some very powerful indeed. I like to select the best quote. Actually, I've put my bookmarks here, and I like to do a video to record video where I talk about my best quotes in a book. And I've done that twice already. Let it soak in. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Um, and I plan to do it for this one as well. And yeah, I've done it for two other books, and I'm preparing for this one. Right, chapter 16. I mean, I'm not trying to be selfish, but you didn't taste the dessert, Lily. Eliza groans. Oh, it was so good. We're never, oops, sorry. Again. We're never going back there, I said to her. She stomps her foot like a little kid. But nope, we have to respect your brother's feelings. She folds her arms over her chest again, like a baby. I know, I know. Why did you have to be a hormonal? Did you have to be a hormonal teenager and fall in love with the best chef in Boston? He wasn't a chef when I knew him. Whatever, she says. She walks out of my office and closes the door. My phone buzzes with an incoming text, not oncoming, incoming text. Ryle. 5 hours down, about five more to go. So far, so good. Hand is great. I sigh, relieved. I wasn't sure if he'd be able to do the surgery today, but knowing how much he was looking forward to it makes me happy for him. Me. Steadiest hands in all of Boston. I open my laptop and check my email. The first thing I see is an inquiry from the Boston Globe. I open it and it's from a journalist interested in running an article about the store. I grin, a grin, a grin, like an idiot, and start emailing her back when Eliza knocks on the door. She opens it and sticks her head in. Hey, she says. Mhm. Hey, I say back. She taps her fingers on the door frame. Remember a few minutes ago when you told me I could never go back to Bibbs because it's unfair to Ryan that the boy you loved when you were a teenager is the owner? I fall back against my chair. What do you want, Eliza? She scrunches she she scrunches up her nose and says, if it isn't fair that we can't go back there because of the owner, how is it fair that the owner gets to come here? What? I close my laptop and stand up. Why would you say that? Is he here? She nods and slips inside my office, closing the door behind her. He is. He asked for you, and I know you're with my brother, and I'm with child, but can we just please take a moment to silently admire the perfection of that is the perfection that is that man? She smiles dreamily, and I roll my eyes. Eliza, those eyes, though. She opens the door and walks out. I follow behind her and catch sight of Atlas. She's right here, Eliza says. Would you like me to take your coat? We don't take coats. And Atlas glances up when I walk out of my office. His eyes cut to Eliza and he shakes his head. No, thank you. I won't be long. Eliza leans forward over the counter, dropping her chin on her hands. Stay as long as you like. In fact, are you looking for an extra job? Lily needs to hire more people, and we're looking for someone who can lift really heavy things. Requires a lot of flexibility. Bending over. I narrow my eyes at Eliza and mouth. Enough. She shrugs innocently. 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 Anyway, innocently. Um, I hold my door open for Atlas, but avoid looking directly at him as he passes me. I feel a world of guilt for what happened last night, but also a world of anger for what happened last night. I walk around my desk and drop into my seat, prepared for an argument. But when I look up at him, I clamp. I clamp my mouth shut. He is smiling. He waves his hand around in a circle as he takes a seat across from me. This is incredible, Lily. I pause. Thank you. He continues smiling at me, like he's proud of me. Then he places a bag between us on the desk and pushes it toward me. A gift, he says. You can open it later. Why is he buying me a gift? Why is he buying me gifts? He has a girlfriend. I have a boyfriend. Our past has already caused enough problems in my present. I certainly don't need gifts to exacerbate that. Why are you buying me gifts? Atlas. He leans back in his seat and crosses his arms over his chest. I bought it 3 years ago. I've been holding on to it in case I ever ran into you. Consider it, Atlas. He hasn't changed. Damn it. I pick up the gift and set it on the floor behind my desk. I try to release some of the tension I'm feeling, but it's really hard when everything about him makes me so tense. I came here to apologize, he says. I wave off his apology, letting him know it isn't necessary. It's fine. It was a misunderstanding. Ryle is fine. He laughs under his breath. That's not what I'm apologizing for, he says. I'd never apologize for defending you. You weren't defending me, I say. There was nothing to defend. Tilts his head, giving me the same look that he gave me last night, the one that lets me know how disappointed in me, he is. It stings deep in my gut. I clear my throat. Why are you apologizing then? He's quiet for a moment, contemplative. I wanted to apologize for saying that you sounded like your mother. That was hurtful, and I am sorry. I clear my. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I always feel like crying when I'm around him. When I think about him, when I read about him, it's like my emotions are still tethered to him somehow, and I can't figure out how to cut the strings. His eyes drop to my desk. He reaches forward and grabs three things: a pen, a sticky note, my phone. He writes something down on the sticky note and then proceeds to pull my phone apart. He slips the case off and puts the sticky note between the case and the phone, then slides the cover back over it. He pushes my phone back across the desk. I look down at it and then up at me. He stands up and tosses the pen on my desk. It's my cell phone number. Keep it hidden there in case you ever need it. I wince at the gesture, the unnecessary gesture. I won't need it. I hope not. He walks to the door and reaches for the doorknob. And I know this is my only chance to get out what I have to say before he's out of my life forever. Atlas, wait. I stand up so fast, my chair scoots across the room and bumps against the wall. He half turns and faces me. What Ryle said to you last night. I bring a nervous hand to my neck. I can feel my heart beating in my throat. I never said that to him. He was hurt. He was hurt and upset, and he misconstructed my words from a long time ago. The corner of Atlas's mouth twitches, and I'm not sure if he's trying not to smile or trying not to frown. He faces me straight on. Believe me, Lily, I know that wasn't a pity fuck. I was there. Hmm, it's sweet. He walks out he walks out the door and his words knock me straight back into my seat. Only my seat is no longer there. It's still on the other side of my office and I'm now on the floor. Eliza rushes in and I'm lying on my back behind my desk. Lily! She runs around the desk and stands over me. Are you okay? I hold up a thumb. Fine. Just missed my chair. He reaches out her hand. She reaches out her hand and helps me to my feet. What was it all about? I glance at the door as I retrieve my chair. I take a seat and look down at my phone. Nothing. He was just apologizing. Eliza sighs longingly and looks back at the door. So does that mean he doesn't want the job? I've got to hand it to her. Even in the midst of emotional turmoil, she can make me laugh. Get back to work before I dock your pay. She laughs and makes to leave. I tap my pen against my desk and then say, Eliza, wait. I know, she says, cutting me off. Ryle doesn't need to know about that visit. You don't have to tell me. So, Poet of the People is saying, the I was there is 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That this is everything, I would say. Yeah. And it shows again that Atlas, he is he's intelligent. He's an intelligent man. And even then, as a boy, I don't know if you remember this passage where she is saying to him when they were 17, you why would you enroll in the why would you work for this country when they do nothing for you? Um, Knowing about his situation as a homeless young man, and he says, this is not the fault, this is not the country's fault if my mother doesn't give a shit about me. And this is true in a way. To a certain extent, the governments and the state can't help everyone and all the people, can't be responsible for everybody. But it also shows the dysfunctioning of the care system around homelessness. But he doesn't victimizing himself, and that's a strength in character in with him, and is he's respected for that. Well, he is. This is a um, an admirable trait of his character. Definitely, he's very wise since a very young age. Yeah, um, yeah. So and obviously having been having to go through this and the rejection of your own mother and having to deal with homelessness makes you grow much faster. And he is a very mature young man at this point, and you grow much faster than the other kids who who have a very comfortable life. Yeah. Maybe the past family situation made him become better human, empathetic. Um, yes, definitely. Um, oh, yes. He's very caring when he sees um, Lily distressed when her father has is hitting his mother, hitting her mother, and she goes to him for comfort and for safety, and he's there and he's calming her. Yeah, he has a very calming presence. Yeah. Yes, exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. He's very he has a like a you have some people like that have a very strong presence, but in their calmness. They're very very strong and like trees. There is a passage with the tree in Lydia's garden, and he's like that magnificent presence. He's like a very yeah. His presence is calming and strong at the same time. Yeah. Um, where were we? So, Ryle doesn't need to know about that visit. You don't have to tell me. I smile. Thank you. She closes the door. I reach down and pick up the bag with my 3-year-old gift with my 3-year-old gift inside of it. I pull it out and can easily tell it's a book wrapped in tissue paper. I tear the tissue paper away and fall against the back of my chair. There is a picture of Ellen DeGeneres in the on the front. The title is Seriously? I'm kidding. I laugh and then open the book, gasping quietly when I see it's autographed. I run my fingers over the words of the inscription. Lily, Atlas says just keep swimming. Ellen DeGeneres. I run my finger over her signature, then I drop the book on my desk, press my forehead against it, and fake cry against the cover. And that's the end of chapter 16. So basically, she's like that, and I guess she can't believe that he did that for her. Oh my God. So I don't know if you remember, but Ellen DeGeneres is this very famous TV presenter, American TV presenter. Now she doesn't do. She stopped her talk show, um, but she ran it over for many years, and well, she is still known for that. And she is, the person she used to write to when she was young, and she loved her show, watching her show, and Atlas knows that. So that's why I guess, Ellen DeGeneres published this book, maybe a memoir, it's probably a memoir or autobiography. Um, and he made it sign um and well, he asked an autograph for Lily, and that's really sweet. He's so sweet. This Atlas is he's perfect. Anyway, so it's so cute and at the same time very sad that she's meeting him now when she's already wrapped up in this relationship with Ryle, this very tense um, and sexy relationship with him, playing cat and mouse and flirting with each other and desiring each other very hardly, um, ardently, I would say, ardently. Uh, but at the same time, this passionate love is at a price, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to say more, but yeah, it's yeah, it's still in question here. Just keep swimming is a very nice piece of advice to all of us. Yes, it's super sweet. Yes. Yes, and it refers back again to a passage in a book where um who says that to Lily? I can't remember. The keep swimming thing is is something that she said to him. Oh, I can't remember. Probably it's something that she said to him, and he's now saying that to her. I think. I can't remember. Yeah. Timing for them to find each other again is terrible. Yes, very bad timing. It's mostly like this also in real life somehow. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, it's when you finally move on from someone that this person reappears in your life. Yeah, there are so many cases like that. And I would love to hear yours. Well, I would not won't have the time tonight, but if you're happy to join the live workshop this Sunday morning, we're going to discuss the chapters 12 to 16. So if you want to join the conversation, it would be lovely. I can't either, but I actually used that many times prior reading the book. I think it's like one of those sentences. Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed this live reading of these two chapters. And thank you for sharing your thoughts on the book and these two chapters. Um, I hope you will be able to join the live workshop. If you're not sure about joining the book club, you can still join the newsletter and be updated to all the book club events and interviews. There are more interviews coming up. So if you want to attend those interviews, that's also possible. If you join the newsletter, you'll know all about you can get the link for the interviews and the Zoom link for the live readings as well. I check the book club. Thank you for your lovely company. Thank you for coming, for joining our live on Instagram. And have a lovely evening. In the meantime, I will see you also on Sunday, but in the evening for the live reading of chapters 17 and 18. So we'll keep reading, keep reading. Um, but that will be Sunday evening, and in the morning we will meet for our fourth workshop. Exceptionally, we're doing in on Sunday and not Saturday because I'll be attending a book fair in the town near where I live, and I'm really excited for that. Um, and yeah, let know more about the booklet, let the book club be known in in my region, in where I live, and in my area, and also online. Well, thank you again for tonight, and thank you for watching this video on replay on YouTube. It will be available as soon as possible. As soon as I can, I'll upload this live, and I hope you enjoy this live reading. Bye.